Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Vivian and I'm excited to bring you a video today about a lot of recent topics and themes that you may be moving through as you're progressing in this shift. As you can see, I am outside in my backyard, so if there are any noises like cars or airplanes or my dogs barking, I do apologize, but I do want to make this video outside because the season is changing and I'm just trying to enjoy outdoors as much as I can. So in this video, we're going to be going through several shifts that you may be seeing in your life right now. So if you're able to grab some tea, grab a drink, and just get cozy. So one of the first shifts, this one is really interesting and it's all about shifting roles within interpersonal relationships in your life. So this could be with friends, family, colleagues, or even your animal companions. So, for example, I'll give you my own personal example, which is one with one of my dogs named King. The roles that we played with each other previously was that he was my guide, he was my healer, and he was very confident, very grounded and secure. Nothing really could trigger him, nothing scared him. And he was very present, very much enjoying his life. And just whenever someone would look at him and be around him, they could feel how grounded, calm, and safe he felt and was. However, for me, I was very insecure, very anxious. Every time I went out into public, I always thought about the worst things that could happen. Somehow, in my subconscious mind and my nervous system, I always felt like I was going to get hurt or somebody was out to get me. So I was very paranoid and I couldn't really live in the present moment. And I was really living in a constant state of fear. But King, through who he was, helped me a lot. What was interesting is that he's 6 years old now. So, like I said, he was never scared of anything, even fireworks, even thunder, or really loud noises. However, recently, that has changed to the point where any thunder or fireworks or even kitchen noises would really freak him out. Going on walks, he would be really scared of cars passing by, like sports cars or motorcycles, any cars that would make loud noises, to the point where he would not want to go out and walk and just run home and hide. And now that he has stepped into that role, being more timid and scared and fearful, it's asking me to step into that role of being a leader, being more grounded, and bringing the energy of healing for King. What's really beautiful though is that even though he has changed roles and is different right now, he's still teaching me how to stay grounded despite the fact that it might not be an ideal situation for me where when we're out, he's freaking out. So whether he's confident or timid and scared, either way, he's teaching me how to be that leader, how to be grounded. So they could be playing out like a positive side of things or a negative side of things. And either way is still beautiful because you get to learn and experience different perspectives. So you might really think about it and question, yeah, there has people in my life who has kind of changed. Or maybe your animal companions are acting a little bit different. So I do invite you to take a look and see if this might be one of the reasons why. The second shift that has been coming up is that this fire energy is coming in hot and strong. So, in your personal relationships, again, whether with family, work, colleagues, friendships, whatever it is, there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of frustration, disagreement, or arguments, conflicts may be breaking out. And even though it may feel intense, it's a beautiful process because this anger that has been suppressed by them, they might have never really fully felt it. But because this energy is coming in strong, it's really helping them to move through this anger, to move through the rage that they might have never been able to express. Thought patterns or belief systems that are no longer serving them is also going to surface. So they might project onto you their own beliefs, their own thoughts, because it's an opportunity for these subconscious programmings to surface and move through. What you can do to help these people is be present and hold space for them to move through that. And at the same time, this fire is really going to help you speak up and create boundaries for yourself as well. So, for example, if they said something to you that might offend you, even though it's their own thoughts and their own beliefs. So, it's also a great opportunity for you to speak up and kind of cut through the illusion if it is not true. Right? This fire energy is supporting you as well. So, if you're not normally somebody who speaks up, or you're timid, or you're scared, or maybe you're fearful that if you said something, it might trigger conflict, and you've always kind of kept quiet, this energy is here to support you. So, in this aspect, it's also helping you to break patterns of people pleasing, of playing the role of being a nice or good girl or good boy. Because being and playing that role is also an illusion. We can sugarcoat conflicts, situations, disagreements, or disharmony, but there comes a time when truth needs to come out, when you're no longer able to play that role. And when we're unable to express our true selves, express what we're really thinking and feeling, it's kind of like things just keep getting piled on top and on top and on top until the volcano erupts, until there's an explosion. But the best way that I know how to work through this energy is through awareness and being true to yourself. So if you are getting triggered in a situation with family and friends, be aware of the emotion that's coming up and just allow it to be there. But don't allow the emotion to control your actions, control what you do. Right. So emotions are there for us to feel, and also they're guidance for us. So when the anger comes up, it's obviously telling you that you're uncomfortable with something. Whether it's somebody that's saying something that's not true, or your boundaries are being crossed, this is a chance to cut through the bullshit, cut through the illusion, and allow your true, authentic thoughts and feelings to be expressed. When we speak truth, we cut through the lies and the illusions. So, in turn, this not only helps you, but it also helps the other person as well. And vice versa, if you were to project certain beliefs or thoughts onto other people, and they come to you and they're able to really express themselves fully and authentically, it's also going to cut through your programming and cut through the illusions that were either placed upon you or were adopted by you. Also, if this is playing out in your life, in your environment, but it's not directly connected to you, or you may feel the energy, the disharmony that's in the environment, it may be a collective release. So, in that case, your only job might be to just be present and hold space for the energies to move. So, there's a couple aspects to this fire energy that's coming in and really supporting us, even though it may feel intense right now. And it's that it's lighting up your creative powers. It may be empowering you to create and share your medicine with the world. So maybe even a couple weeks or months ago, you might have a lot of doubts or not really believing too much in yourself to bring about your dreams, your goals, and achieve what you wanted to achieve. You might have allowed your doubts to kind of hold you back. Beliefs such as, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy, nobody cares, I don't know what I'm doing, right? All of these thoughts might have held you back before. But this fire energy that comes in is bringing in a lot of empowerment and courage. And so, even though you may have those beliefs, at this time, your courage is more powerful than your fears. And so, even with your fears still in place and hasn't completely gone away, you're able to move forward anyways with little steps that you might have never done before. And that's when you know, though, that there is a shift because you're willing to take more risk. You're willing to create your dreams, whereas before you didn't. So instead of being in the victim mentality, our focus is being drawn to possibilities. What is possible for me? What is it that I truly desire? And that possibility seems closer. Your vision seems clearer, and the path to get there seems and feels more exciting instead of feeling like it's draining you. The way you think about your goals and dreams, it's different. Essentially, this fire energy is coming in to help us remember our power to create. It helps us to remember that life is passionate. There's so much meaning to life. Life is not just meaningless, dull, and boring. Right now, this fire energy is exploding, is really strong, and really it's just a wake up call. Literally, if you knew, if you believed that this was your last lifetime on earth, what would you do? What would you create? What would you like to experience? Right? If this is our last lifetime on earth and we may never get to experience this again, how do we want to live? And what are we going to do with the life that we have? At the end of the day, whether we live it fully or not, we also have to realize that it's a personal choice. It's not based upon our circumstances or situation. Everyone has problems and everyone has their own limitations. But how can people, even in very, very difficult situations, rise? So, not only is this fire helping us burn through beliefs within ourselves and our relationships with other people's thoughts and perspectives. Not only is it helping us with our creativity and bringing our dreams and vision forward, it's also helping us to clear out the clutter in our space. You might feel called to declutter, clean up your area, your environment, your space, and that way, there's more space to bring in the things that are in a vibrational match to who you are now. Having a space that's in alignment with you that makes you feel good is also a way of expressing your energy. Your environment is like an extension of who you are. So it's really interesting because I used to be the type of person that says, "Oh, I don't care about decorating my space. I don't care about what I look like. I don't care about self-care and all of those things." But what I realized is when we don't take care of our space and ourselves, my energy became very dull. I didn't look like I had much energy or life to me. So when I only focus on spirituality and consciousness in that sense, I wasn't fully experiencing my life on earth fully. I wasn't caring for my body, which is my temple of my consciousness. And ever since I started decorating my space with things that make me feel good and started taking care of my body and myself, things have dramatically shifted. If you are one of those people who don't care about their body or their space and you're not enjoying your life that much, this might be something to consider. It's not about being materialistic. And to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with being materialistic either. It's a form of creation, it's a form of self expression, and we do live in a physical reality with materials. And we could use those materials for good or for bad. And since I have decorated my space, I've been feeling so good walking in there. It brings me so much love and happiness. My plants are so happy. My orchids are growing like crazy. And my crystals in my room have such high frequencies. Whenever I walk in, it just feels really good. And I'm constantly feeling really at peace, smiling, and just really happy with my space. So it's important for us to realize that, like, our environment and our space, they do have impact on our energy. And while we are talking about decluttering our space, you might also feel called to declutter your physical body. I know a lot of people in my lives right now that are shifting and changing, let's say, their diet or even their exercise. People that have not really been wanting to exercise or be consistent with their health are shifting to be more focused and aware of that. This fire energy is kind of like putting a magnifying glass over your habits regarding your physical health. So maybe deep inside, you know that you're not eating healthy, but before it's something that you could tolerate because sometimes you just crave it and you just want to eat it. But at this time, this fire energy is very purifying. So habits that aren't supportive of your body is going to feel a lot worse than it used to. Even though you may be continuing with, let's say, unhealthy eating habits, right now it's going to feel a lot more intense. And it's almost like your body is screaming it wants a change. So, this fire energy is helping you to make the shift. It's helping you to make the change. Whereas before, it was really difficult to even think about doing it. Now it's like, I'm ready for it. Your mind might be saying, oh, it's too hard, it's too difficult. But inside, you're ready for it. And you know that it's time to make that change to support your physical body. It's important to know that as we cleanse out our space, as we cleanse out our physical body, this is really going to help us become more clear within our minds, within our creations when we're bringing our work alive. It's going to help us with clear communication with people in our lives. So, all in all of this purification, even though it's a lot going on, it's going to support the different areas of your life that are shifting. So, this next point, this next shift in consciousness is really one of my favorites, and it's our perspective on the plant kingdom, nature, and the animal kingdom. So you may see that it's really interesting because maybe before, when you went outside, maybe you're talking with friends or people, and there were birds singing and chirping, and the plants were trying to catch your attention or communicate with you. But in your consciousness, you might have never really been aware of them. They might have just been in the background the whole time, not really being in your awareness, and you've never really placed much attention or focus on them. And this shift almost seems so natural to the point where you might have not even really noticed it until it's brought up. And that shift is when you go outside now, you might be more attentive to nature. You might be more sensitive to the animals. Now, when birds are singing and chirping, you do notice them, and it's beautiful. Whereas before, it might have been meaningless and didn't mean anything to you and had no effect on you. And the plant kingdom is really beautiful because you can build a relationship with them. When you connect with them and you develop this relationship and give them your time, awareness, and attention, when you go outside, let's say you've been connecting and spending time with a specific tree or a group of trees, you develop this relationship where you notice when you walk out to them, they notice you. And you may even feel like, oh, I feel like these plants are communicating with me, even though you might not be conscious of exactly what they're communicating to you, but you have a sense that they are communicating to you. They are sentient beings. Even with the plants in your home, you might feel like you want to be more attentive to them and take care of them. You might feel called to repot them and separate them so they have more space to grow. You might water them a little bit more often or a little bit less depending on what they need. But overall, you're more attentive to their well being. And when you do take those steps, you may notice that they're growing a lot faster. They seem happier, they're blossoming, and they're blooming. And when you look at them, they're radiating this love frequency and energy that really uplifts your space. When you're giving them love, attention, your energy, it's helping them to spread that love and energy and frequency into your home as well. It's just like if a child were to be neglected and never looked at, they might feel really low, not that great, and even seem to kind of deteriorate. But when that child receives that love and attention, they're going to be really happy. They're going to feel that love, and you're going to see a difference in the energy that they radiate. You may even feel called to sing to the trees and the plants, and you might even feel like talking with them. What you'll realize though is that when you consistently go out and develop that relationship, when you are present in front of them, they're going to greet you whenever you come out to see them. The trees will literally lean forward with leaves moving all around just to greet you and acknowledge you. When you're singing to them, birds might start chirping when it was really quiet right before. Leaves may start rustling when it was quiet right before. Even though you see the leaves rustling, you might even notice that there is no wind around. And so these are just kind of like confirmations or little validations that might show you that they are communicating and interacting with you. The next point that I want to bring up that you may be shifting through is that this one feels really natural. You might not even really question it. You might just think it's normal, but you might be wanting to spend time in the dark and in a quiet place. by yourself. So, for example, after work, you might want to go to somewhere in nature. The sun has already set. There's not really too much lights around, and you just kind of want to be in your own energy, your own frequency, and stay in the solitude for a little bit of time. Or another example is that you may want to go shower, but instead of turning on the lights, you leave the lights off. So you're just showering in the dark. And this is something that I'm actually going through as well. I didn't think too much about it. I just thought, oh, I just don't want to turn on the lights. It's fine. But what I realized was it was a form of recentering, a form of healing, a form of recentering for me to be in the dark, almost like being in that void. You may also experience the duality of that or the polarity of that, which is being in the light, but not artificial light, more like the sunlight. So you may feel called to go out into nature and just allow the sun to just be on your skin and be absorbed by your body. If you are aware, you're going to feel a really big difference when you step out into nature and into the sun. It's going to really be healing and expansive to your body and your energy field. So, whether you're in the darkness, in the void, or in the daylight, in the sun, both ways are healing and a way to rebalance yourself and be in your own energy. It's a way to refuel and recharge. So just listen to your body and see what it needs. This is a way of communicating with your body and developing that relationship with it. The last shift of consciousness that I do want to talk about before we end this video is that when you look into the mirror and you see yourself, it almost feels like you're a different person. You're not the same person that you were before. When you look at yourself, you may see an ancient aspect of yourself, an ancient god or goddess, an ancient priest or priestess. So it's not like something physically drastic has changed, but it's like an aspect of yourself that you're starting to remember, that you're starting to see within yourself that you weren't aware of before. This part of you feels very sacred, very wise, and very ancient. And when you become aware of this and you see that in yourself in the mirror, it's very healing. It could bring up a lot of emotions. And you start to remember yourself as a powerful being. You start to become aware that you're not just this human being that you've always thought yourself to be, but you start to remember yourself as a multidimensional being, a powerful, sacred, ancient being. You may start seeing these versions of yourself in dreams, in meditations, or you might read a book or watch a video and suddenly different memories of different lifetimes flood back into your consciousness. And you ultimately begin to remember more of who you are. So, with all of that being said, everything that we've talked about is really helping us to see and be conscious of where we have been incoherent in our lives and helping us to gain that awareness so that we can consciously shift into alignment with who we truly are. Thank you guys for staying with me and watching this video. I know I said I was going to bring back more light language transmissions videos, but I just feel like every time I make a video, it's so long. And then by the time I'm doing the light language transmission, it's going to be extra long. So, how I might structure it in the future is to keep these talking videos separate and the light language videos separate depending on how long they're going to be. If you have any requests or questions that maybe I can help you with, drop them in the comments and let me know if you have been going through any of these shifts or even different processes that is unique to you. I love to hear from you, and I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here and spending time with me. I love you guys.